Hey, it's Uncle Craw here. Today we're going to talk about making industrial parts. Can you please subscribe to my channel? So the part we're going to be talking about today is printed from PETG plastic on my FDM printer. It's a type of polyethylene and it's very similar to what is used to make plastic water bottles. So this is a belt guard that I designed in SolidWorks. I'm making it for a machine I'm building at work. Now, this could be made out of sheet metal, it could be machined out of a solid aluminum block, but for what it is, it's probably more economical just to 3D print this thing. So I've got it in Craw. I had to cut the part in half because I only have a 200 millimeter by 200 millimeter print area on my machine. So I sliced this thing in half and I got it open in Craw. I'm going to print one half at a time. Now I'm generating supports underneath these mounting tabs, so there's something to print the mounting tabs on. So these little supports that you can see here when I zoom in are going to get built up as the model prints, and it's actually going to print the tab on top of this, and the support structure will break away really easily when I'm done. So I'm in the layer view in Craw, and you can see the model being built up here. It's pretty complicated to fabricate something like this, so 3D printing it's probably the way to go. So this part is probably going to take about 8 hours to do both halves. My layer height's about 0.4 millimeters and I have a 0.6 nozzle. The walls are 3 thicknesses, so it's 1.8 millimeters thick on the walls, and the bottom is also 1.8 millimeters. It's really flexible, as you can see in the first part of the video. This material, the PETG, has excellent layer adhesion, so the layers really stick together. You can do thicker layers without separations. It's pretty inert to any chemicals. You know, just think of the water bottle type material. So I think this will lend itself pretty good to an industrial situation and last for a long time. So I ordered this PETG from Gizmo Dorks. I ordered it on eBay. It's about 20 bucks for a kilogram. I made some other parts with it. I probably should be making this belt guard with yellow plastic or something to kind of pop out in a safety aspect, but this is what I have on hand, so this is what I'm using for the belt guard. I have to make several of these machines, so I'll be printing out at least 5 of these right now. So like I said, this is going to be a lot cheaper than fabrication, a lot cheaper than machining belt guard. A custom part like this can be pretty expensive, so I'm hoping to save a few bucks and save a lot of time here. Now when you're printing with PET, you're probably not going to squish the first layer down as much as you would with ABS or PLA. So I have a first layer of 0.3, and that's going to get me good adhesion. I got some glue sticks on my glass bed. I'm printing at about 250 degrees C. My bed's at about 50 degrees C. I'm only printing at 15 millimeters per second. Quite a bit slower. Supports and stuff like that I speed up to around 30. I already talked about my support. I have just a little bit of cooling, but I'm going to shut it off for this print. Sometimes I run a little bit of cooling with PETG, but you'll get better adhesion of the surface layers if you turn it off, from my experience. So I have to switch over. I was printing before with some ABS plastic, so I'm going to purge all that out, get my PETG flowing through the nozzle, get all the old white ABS cleared out of there, and get ready to print this new part. So I did a cold pull to get the ABS out of there and got my PET through there. Never put your hands inside a printer. You know, it could burn you, it could pinch your fingers or whatever, but do as I say, not as I do. But I got a little booger going around here that I don't want to get stuck in my part, so I'm going to go ahead and get that out of there with a pair of pliers, and I don't want a failed print. Probably be better just to pause the machine and get that out of there, or clean it off before you get going, but I didn't think about it. So I'm going to get this first layer down. I got a 0.3 gap in there. That's pretty good. I could fine adjust that a little bit better to get a nicer finish on the bottom of the part. But for what I'm making here, I'm not too particular about it. Printing pretty slow, getting a nice first layer. The whole part actually prints pretty slow compared to what I do with PLA or ABS, but it doesn't take that much longer, and you're gonna have less risk of failed parts. And every time your part fails halfway through, it's taking you longer anyway. So I think the turtle wins the race on this kind of thing. So she's gonna go around and start printing my supports and printing the first layer and get the first layer laid out. And it's going to build up layer by layer. And this is a time-lapse view. When it gets up here, it's going to print them mounting tabs on top of that support layer. This is the other half with the big hole in the middle. As you can see, she's printing pretty good, and this material's kind of translucent. So here's that finished part, half of it anyway. I'm going to get the other half printed and try it out Monday. Please subscribe, and can I get a like? Yeehaw!